friends to celebrate great events, our holidays, Christmas, birthdays, or anniversaries. And it is very important to choose a decent gift, but it doesn't always cost you a lot to make themselves and yourselves in return happy. I made a lot of good friends while I was traveling in Europe and studying in Switzerland for just one semester in 2004 as an exchange student. And in years after I quit my job 2 years ago, I wanted to go back to see them all, and I traveled 200 days around Europe and North America. But in the beginning, in 2004, while I was traveling in Barcelona, I met this happy Dutch guy called Bruno, walking up the staircase of one of those beautiful towers in Sagrada Familia by Gaudi in Barcelona. And we introduced ourselves to each other, and he found that my name is Uno, and he insisted that his name is Bruno Uno. So, he was happy to meet me more than I was happy to see him, and he said he was a friend of Gus Hiddink. Of course he was lying, but we made friends right away. And when I was traveling in Europe again 2 years ago, I visited him in The Hague, in the Netherlands, and stayed there at his place for a week. And on one evening with him at his place, I was looking through his big collection of LP discs of 60s and 70s pop and rock music. But what I found was not about music. It was an LP disc made right after the assassination of this great president, to commemorate his president. And this has 6 well-known famous speeches that he made in public, including the very famous inaugural address that goes, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Maybe we can ask the same question ourselves about SRTM. And as soon as he noticed that I like this, he gave this to me, because I said, "Hey, you got 2 of it." So I was very happy to have this. And he said, "Yeah, my dad bought this, like 200 of it, and I got 2 of it, just you can keep 1." I was very happy. It was merely a 1 LP of his father's left, but to me, it is very meaningful since then. So I left something to be found after I left this home. And this is a postcard I left to be found, like a treasure, after I left home. And some artist works with dead flies, but what I left there is 2 big dead flies lying on the beach. One saying, "Hey Uno," another saying, "What, Bruno?" Okay, and after I came back to Korea, exactly a year ago from now, I thought that I had to and I wanted to thank them all. So I was going to send them more than 30 Christmas cards by the end of the last year. But as always, I didn't push myself enough within time, so I missed the chance. But we all Koreans have a special holiday called Lunar New Year. And it gave me extra time to write those postcards that says, "Yeah, well, what a lazy guy I am, but we Koreans celebrate Lunar New Year's Day. So happy birthday." And I believe by the time they received those cards in February, they were happy to receive them. Yes, better late than never. And with one of those cards enveloped, special little weird thing called Italy towel. Yeah, this is something we Koreans used to, or still use, to rub the dead skin in the bath. I don't use this. But when I was traveling in Paris 1.5 years ago, staying at not the Italiano guy, but Parisian guy who wanted me to send this to Paris, I found this, the same one, at his shower. And I asked him, "Emery, what is this thing doing here?" And he said that, "Oh, that's right. Can you send me a new one when you go back to Korea? Because I've been using this for 7 years since I got this one in 2004 in Seoul when he was an exchange student to my college." So I said, "Yes, of course." But it took me 9 more months since I came back home. So it was not even a piece of cake to buy for me to send these to him, because I bought more of this in every size, from the smallest one to the longest one. So it was a piece of cake for me, but to him it meant a lot. So by now we can imagine that someone in London is now living in London. Every morning someone is very happy taking a shower. Oh, this is Korean. Yeah. And another friend of mine, one fine morning before last Christmas, came out of his house and found that there is a big red post box that he hasn't noticed before. And suddenly he thought that, when was my last time to write a real handwritten letter to anyone? And that day on his Facebook profile he wrote, "Is there anyone who wants to get a handwritten Christmas card? Send me an address." And I sent him mine, and I got this beautiful warm Christmas card from my friend in hometown. We are both living in Seoul now, but we grew up going to the same church kindergarten in a little town called Gimyeon next to Busan. And I believe I could feel how happy it was writing about our childhood on that Christmas card. And of course that made me happy. And I forgot to mention that in return of that Italy towel, I got this little card from London too. Yes, it pays back. You don't have to reach your friends far away from you, because you have a lot sitting next to you. As long as you like to be here at SRTM, you guys are friends to each other, whether you are a first-time guest or very old-time member like Christine. Welcome back to the club, Christine. All right, and the easiest, okay, we will get more. Yes. It is